This is Vahid from VRF Education channel, and today I am with you with the 5th session of design patterns in C++ and Qt. So far, we have learned about a singleton and factory method pattern. And today we are going to talk about abstract factory method. This is a creational design pattern, and as the name implies, it's going to help us produce families of related objects without specifying their concrete classes. This is somehow like a factory method pattern, but it works around a super factory which creates other factories. So in this pattern, we're working with a couple of factories, not just one. And each factory gonna produce a set of items that are somehow related to each other. And all the factors are gonna create the same concrete products in the nature, but they are somehow different. So what does it mean? It may be somehow confusing. Imagine that you are creating a furniture shop simulator, and your code consists of classes that represent a family of related products. For example, chair, sofa, and coffee table. These are some concrete products that our factory classes should provide a way to create them. And here we have three different families of related products. For example, art deco, somehow a traditional design, Victorian, a royal design, and a modern design. So when we want to order some modern products, we need to use modern factory. And here when we use modern factory to create, for example, chair, sofa, and coffee table, we just create some products with the same look and feel. Now, here we have the problem. Imagine that a customer ordered some chair before, and he now wants to order a sofa. So he called the shop and ordered a sofa without specifying the family, and they sent mistakenly another type of sofa for the customer. And as you can see, these are not matched together. So the main purpose of abstract factory pattern is to match related objects in nature and also in design together. So what is the solution? As we did with the factory method, we need an interface for each concrete product. This interface provides a way that we can create a specific product. For example, here we have an interface for chair. Here we have Victorian chair, a concrete product, and here we have another concrete product, modern chair. Both are chairs, and they implement or they inherit from an abstract class, chair. And we need to duplicate it for other products also. And then we declare an abstract factory, an interface or an abstract class with a list of creation methods for all products that are part of the product family. So here we have a furniture factory. It contains three different methods: create chair, create coffee table, and create sofa. And then we are going to create three different factory classes in this example that inherit from this abstract class: Victorian furniture factory, modern furniture factory, and the other one, for example, art deco furniture factory. All these factories are gonna provide three different methods for us to use to create different concrete products. And then we are ensured that when we use this abstract factory pattern in our codes, always we create the same model for each product. And here is the UML diagram for this design pattern. So here in the first step, we have some abstract product class for our concrete products, and then concrete products implement or inherit from this abstract class. And then here, in addition to this in factory method, we have abstract factory class. Then we have some concrete factory that inherit from this abstract factory, these two, and they are using these concrete product classes to create some products. And then our client just work with abstract factory. It doesn't do anything related to creating these products directly. So it used some abstract factory to get an instance from these concrete products. Let's check another example and then go for practical example. Here, imagine that I'm going to create a couple of shapes. I have a rectangle and a square and rounded version of them. So I have two different categories of same products. Okay, these are concrete classes, rectangle and square, and here I have rounded rectangle and rounded square. So in this example, I have only one interface for all these shapes. Shape interface that contains draw method. And here I'm gonna use an abstract factory. Okay, inside the abstract factory, I just declare a get shape method. And here I'm going to create two different factory class, shape factory and rounded shape. These classes extend or implement abstract factory base class, and they use this shape interface to create this kind of object inside their get shape method. Here we just receive an input parameter that define the shape or define the type of shape, rectangle and square, and based on this factory we create one of these four concrete classes. And then in the main code we use a factory producer class that just return an abstract factory for us, maybe this one or this one, and then we just call the get shape method, and we get the desired shape, rounded or normal ones. So these are somehow the same. We have two different interfaces, one for concrete classes, the other for factories, and we need to inherit from these classes to do our jobs. So let's go and see a practical example to get more into this design pattern. If you are new to my channel and this pattern is the first pattern that you're watching in my channel, I should tell you that I created a Qt widget application project and add all the design patterns that I have been talking about already into this project, and I pushed it to my GitHub repository so you can download it and work with the codes. This is a Qt application, but the code for the patterns are in C++, so they're applicable to C++ project also. And here in the main window I created a button for each design pattern. So today I'm gonna add another one here in this category, and let's use this button and change the name to abstract factory. And also let's change the name to btn abstract factory. So when I clicked on this button, a new window or a console will be opened and the code for this pattern will be shown. Now let's see what we are going to implement for abstract factory. I want to choose the shape sample that I just talked about inside the presentations, and I'm going to implement it inside this project as abstract factory sample. Okay, let's start with this concrete product. So I need to create a base class and then inherit from this base class in these concrete products. For this purpose, I'm gonna create a couple of new classes. C++ class. The first one, for example, is shape class itself. It does not inherit from anything, and that's it. And here I'm going to create a virtual void draw method, and it's a pure virtual function, so I need to implement it in all other concrete classes. Oops, I forgot to. Let's delete it. It's a little bit time consuming to correct it. I'm going to delete this file. Yes, close all. So both files deleted, and one more time I'm going to add new. The name is shape, and I'm gonna change the name to this notation and also add it to a new folder named abstract factory. I forgot to specify it, so the folder will be created, abstract factory and shape class, and then let's repeat it one more time. Create a virtual function named draw and make it pure virtual function. That's it. Now let's add all the concrete classes. I need two classes, a square and rectangle. So the first one is a square, oops, and then a square. It inherit from shape class, and change the names. Okay, finish. So this is the square class. Yeah, it inherit from shape class, and the header file included automatically. Let's do for the other ones, and then come back and implement virtual functions. So this one is a rounded, no, a rectangle, rectangle. Again, it's going to implement inherit from shape class, and I want to change the file names to this notation. That's it. And then let's create two other concrete classes. Rounded version, rounded square. It also going to inherit from shape class. And the last one, oops, the last one is rounded rectangle. Again, the parent is shape class, and that's it. So here I'm gonna press Alt Enter on this class and insert virtual function. Yeah, the name is draw, and then implement the body or add the body for this method to the C++ section. Oh, so the code creator crashed, and I don't know why, so I opened it one more time. Let's start from this part. I'm gonna insert virtual function here, draw function, and then I'm gonna add the definition in C++. Here let's just queue debug. Let's include queue debug. Sometimes it's necessary to have this header file in our codes, and I don't know, sometimes it's not necessary. So queue debug, I'm a rectangle, yeah, rectangle, dot dot dot. So that's it. For the other one, yeah, we just need to implement this one here. Queue debug, I am a rounded rectangle. That's it. For the next one, also insert the virtual function and implement it. Queue debug, I am a square, dot dot dot. And also for rounded square, it's rounded square. Sorry, it's rounded square. And for the square, this is the last concrete product. And queue debug. I'm a square. So that's it. We did what we need to do for our concrete classes. Now let's create an abstract factory class. For example, here I'm going to create a class named abstract factory, or I can call it shape factory. Just it's a shape factory. It somehow the naming is different from what you saw in the PowerPoint. It's the base class for the factories, so it also have a virtual function. The output is an instance of a shape, and the name is get shape. or we can just spread the creation method. For example, get a square. It's better, I think. It's get a square. It's pure vulture. And then let's duplicate. Let's include this shapefile, and also I can duplicate it and get rectangle. This is two methods that I created in the shape factory. Okay, now I'm going to create two concrete factory classes, normal shape and rounded shape. So let's also copy this one and create a class named normal shape factory. It's inherit from this class, and also let's change the file name to this one, and let's create another one named rounded shape factory. It also inherit from shape factory, and let's change the name. Okay, let's implement these virtual functions here to get a square and get rectangle. Let's add, let's see what happened. Let's close all the files. Something wrong with my Qt Creator, I don't know why. Let's get to rounded shape factory. Yeah, add definition, and also add definition for this one. Here I'm gonna say return new rounded square, and for the other one I'm gonna return new rounded rectangle. Also let's add header files. Let's bring these two inside the shape factory class. And then for normal shape factory, again I'm gonna insert this virtual function and implement those functions here, and this time I'm gonna just create and return normal shape, for example a square class, and for this one I'm gonna return new rectangle. So I forgot to add new rectangle. I always want to type React instead of rectangle. And let's bring header files, square and rectangle, and I'm gonna move this header files to main header file for this factory method. So that's it. I created a factory, base factory, and inherit from this one in two different factory classes, and implement two different methods for working with that. Now let's create our main object. Here let's create a UI file. Create a designer form class, Qt designer form class. The name is abstract factory demo dialog. Next, finish. Now I'm going to add three different buttons. One is definitely close, and it's going to close the current dialog, rejected dialog, and this one is rounded shape, and this one is normal shape. Let's change the name also, btn normal shape, and for this one I'm gonna change the name to btn rounded shape. And let's add all of them to a layout and minimize the form, something like this. So let's create event handler or slot for clicked signal, and also for this one. And before we forget, let's get back to this form. Oops, when the Qt creator crashed, the save did not change. btn abstract factory. Oops, something went wrong really. Why do this happen? Okay, with an abstract factory, let's change the name to something like this, and here I'm going to say something like this. I create abstract factory demo dialog, name the DLG and set dlg.exec. Let's also bring the header file and say dlg.exec. So if I run the application, let's see what we have till now, and then get back and continue our code. So this is the abstract factory. Yeah, these two buttons. Now gonna complete them inside this file. So here I'm gonna say that what we can also create a factory producer class. It's not necessary, but we can do this. Let's also create another class. This is C++ class. I'm gonna name it factory producer. This class only has one static method, static abstract or shape factory, and then get factory. Here I'm gonna receive a boolean parameter named is rounded or not. Implement it before that. Add the header file and now implement it here. If is rounded, then I'm gonna return new rounded shape factory. Otherwise I'm gonna return normal shape factory. And also let's bring header files here and move them to main header files of the class. Now let's get back to our UI. Here I'm going to create an instance of shape factory, underline shape factory. This is a variable, local variable inside my code or client code, and by default it's null ptr. Let's assign null ptr to this one, shape factory equals to null ptr, and I'm gonna create a private method named void draw shapes. And here I'm gonna say if underline shape factory is something rather than null ptr, okay, go ahead and call the method inside it, get rectangle, and then call the draw method, and after that duplicate it and call the square. So this is it. And then inside these two buttons I'm gonna call this function, but before that I'm gonna say underline shape factory equals to shape factory, a static method. We don't need to create an instance of shape factory dot get I'm sorry, dot factory producer, factory producer. Let's also bring the header file for this one. Get factory rounded. Yeah, this one is true. And for the other ones, it's false. It's not rounded. So that's it. I create a factory using factory producer class, and I get appropriate one based on the parameter that I passed here. Return new one. And then I called draw shapes. Inside draw shapes, I check for factory to be something. It's rather than null picture. And then after that, I created rectangle and a square based on their nature, normal or rounded one. And then I call draw method on them. So it should print appropriate messages in the console output. Let's see what we have. So factory method for rounded, you can see I'm a rounded rectangle, I'm a rounded square. Now it says I'm a rectangle, I'm a square. Each one produce appropriate set of methods. Now if you want to add for example, not circle, another things, let's see what we have. A triangle. Let's do this. I need to add a triangle to my product families. So first of all, I need to create the concrete class, triangle. It inherits from shape. It inherits from shape, yeah, and we need to do some thing inside. Finished, and triangle, cutie bug, I'm a triangle. And let's do the same for rounded triangle, another concrete class. Rounded triangle. It also inherits from shape class. Add the virtual functions, implement it inside the CPP file, qdebug. Around a triangle. Now we need to add a method for creating this new product inside the shape factory. Let's go to shape factory, and here I'm gonna duplicate this one, and it says create triangle. Okay, so we don't need to do anything here, and let's go to our normal factory, and again add this one, so I can get rid of this part, and add the definition here, return new triangle, and also let's bring the header file here and move the header file inside the class. And do the same for rounded shape factory. Again, I'm gonna insert another virtual function. Let's get rid of these extra lines, and also implement triangle inside here and return new rounded triangle. Add the header file, move the header file, and that's it. And now I can go to the main code, abstract factory method dialog. Here I need to just say get triangle. Now let's run the application one more time. Here you can see I can access to a triangle based on the type of factory that I select in the UI and create it on the form. I am a rounded triangle, and here I am a triangle, just triangle and the normal ones. And also you can add another shape factory here, and then if I add another shape factory, you need to do extra works inside the factory producer. I let it on you to add another factory to this code. So I hope you enjoyed and completely get familiar with the abstract factory design pattern. It's very useful patterns, and you can make use of it in your codes to well design your code structures. Till next session and another design pattern. Goodbye.